Good morning, Pentagram City, came the annoyingly familiar voice from the old TV. I'm Katie Killjoy, reporting live from 666 News Studio.
Must we watch this drivel?
Alistair asked, pinching the bridge of his nose in exasperation.
You know where I stand on this moving picture abomination.
It's just to see the weather report, Charlie said. I've heard there's a storm starting and I think we all need to know how bad it's going to get. Now, as Tom Trench has bailed out like the coward he is, it's over to our guest weatherman, Hal's very own Vox. Applause could be heard as the camera panned to Vox, looking ever so composed in his finely pressed suit. Alistair groaned through his teeth.
Oh.
Well, we are certainly in for a bumpy ride today, folks. Vox began, smiling as he showed off the weather map behind him, which displayed a very angry-looking storm heading towards the city. As you can see, the storm will track northeastwards toward the Doomsday District, and conditions in this area will be dire for quite a while. A murmuring of thunder could be heard from outside. The storm was approaching, and quickly. Alistair shuddered at the unexpected sound. So, as it happened, did Vox at almost the exact same time. The TV demon noticed a fuzzy feeling, like a kind of static at the back of his screen. Thinking nothing of it, he kept going. This weather system appears to have already landed, Vox continued. So zzz. Alistair's ears pricked up noticeably. This was going to be interesting. Apologies. Vox tried to laugh off what had just happened. Technical difficulties. His eyes widened as he realized what was going on. The damn storm's messing with my circuits. This was gonna suck. The bzzz. Silence for several seconds before the meteorological conditions are said to become disturbed over the coming hours. Vox said the last sentence like it was all one syllable, as though his system was trying to make up for the fact that he had paused. What the fuck? He blurted out, and Alistair laughed out loud. This thing's kicking his ass! Angel Dust giggled as another, louder roll of thunder sounded, and Vox shivered violently. I'm so sorry, I don't know why this is happening. Vox started again, a waver in his voice that could have been from shock or just plain old static. It was hard to say. His screen flickered slightly, then again, more noticeably. Is he okay? Charlie wondered aloud. Bless her heart. Who cares? Husk chuckled. This is gold! All thoughts of the weather report forgotten, the hotel's residents fixed their gaze on the small screen as the TV overlord glitched and writhed before them. It was the most invested in a television program Alistair had ever been. Vox braced himself against the wall, and the studio lights flickered wildly. The map disappeared as the screen behind Vox distorted and died. You should all stay inside. Vox struggled, forcing the words out through an increasingly audible staticky buzzing, trying in earnest to save what little of his composure was left. Oh, for hell's sake! Christ, why can't I stop? What in the seven circles is wrong with me? Vox mentally asked himself. A fierce wind kicked up outside the hotel. Crack! A flash of lightning followed at once by a booming roar. Everyone jumped before looking back at the TV. Vox's screen flashed bright blue, and when it faded, he had an ironically deer-in-the-headlights look plastered across his face. Signing off! Vox's body went slack. His screen surged again before glitching out into a spectrum of colour one last time and fading to black. The steady of stray electricity continued for about 30 seconds before the TV in the foyer suddenly switched off. The lights followed suit 5 seconds after that. The wind went on howling, and the now frequent lightning strikes would illuminate the area briefly before it all went dark again. "Everyone all right?" Charlie asked, knowing no one could see her look of concern in the blackout. An unearthly green light bathed the room. On instinct, everyone turned to look at its source. Alistair, who had just used his powers to light some candles and a lovely warm fire, sat back on the armchair and sighed contentedly.
Now that was entertaining.
He grinned.